So thanks for all the tremendous insight around being an entrepreneur and that journey. And I think we want to kind of shift your focus to a different lens now, is when you're wearing the investment hat. And the first question, maybe we'll start with you, Charles, is what makes an early stage food and beverage or CPG type company attractive to you when you're wearing your investor hat? What are some of the key things you're looking for?
Yeah, I think first of all, it starts with people. I think that the quality of the founders and the team, even at the very early stage, if they're really impressive human beings, very thoughtful, very prepared, really smart, dedicated, hardworking, those qualities I think are really important, because like you've said earlier, like you don't know the business you're investing in today is going to be what it is later on. It's going to change a million times. Mm-hmm. Somebody who's very adaptable and can roll with it is really, really critical. So beyond that, we look at, are they able to build a tribe? So rather than just say, well, do I like this product? Can you show me a group of people, a definable group of people who absolutely adore this product? And the smaller the geo and the larger the influence in that, the more attractive it gets, because we can multiply, locations and doors. But you have to have stark raving fans. And then we look at unit economics, right? We have to make sure do you have a good gross margin profile? If you're acquiring customers, is your customer acquisition cost realistic relative to what your lifetime value of your customers are? What's your repeat order rate? We go into all the minutia as well, the data that helps support it. Right. But at the end of the day, people, tribe. I think that if you have those things, and of course, is there an addressable market that's large enough, and the basics like that. But I think that those two things, people and tribe, are the most important for us.
And Yves, same question for you. I know you're not in the fun space, but you're a trained chef. It sounds like you've made some investments that maybe work towards some of your personal interests and passions and goals. Mm-hmm. And share some of that with us, and the combination of financial and maybe personal fulfillment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mentor a lot of people, and I'm part of the CDL, Creative Destructive Lab, and I mean, you have to look at the white space where, I have people coming and they say, I have this new soy ice cream. I said, well, that was 20 years ago. But it's different, and it's got this, and no, it's gone. It's passé. So really, I try to look at where's the future, where's the tribe, I think. How big is the tribe that you can invest in, or but at the same time, I use the analogy of Segway. The Segway is a perfect machine. Mm-hmm. You operate on a penny a day. It's gone now because it was too futuric, too ahead of its time. So where is your timing? So, you invest in kombucha. That was good timing. I think so. I've invested in a hard kombucha right now, a company from Vancouver. So, it's about passion, but people, does it fit in your lifestyle? And I'm a firm believer of helping people and believing people, have fun at the same time. And if you can make money, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And in terms of sort of areas of interest for yourself, what do you sort of see as the next frontier in sort of focus areas or themes or ideas?
As far as future for investment or future growth?
Food products, beverage products, be it in North America, areas of interest. At the SFU conference, somebody asked me that question. I said, well, we don't have a crystal ball either. I mean, it's probably 5 years ago, I would say, well, the cannabis business. Mm-hmm. But then that industry has gone a lot up and down, the CBD business. The plant-based seems to have a lot of runway, the environment. And but it's very difficult to see what the future is looking for. But everybody has an idea. My son, when he was 12, he told me to get some computer and mine Bitcoin. That was 10 years ago. Right. And I said, how do you mine money? Well, who knows? We might have not been here today. I followed on his advice. Be on the moon, yeah.
So everybody has good idea. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a gut feeling of there's something missing in their life.
and there's potential in something. So I would say young people, entrepreneurs, have to look at their feelings. So
Right. And what are some of the the turnoffs? When you guys must get inundated with requests for meetings and investment
for me,
opportunities.
it's big ego.
Yes,
Ego?
me too.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be number one. Also, people who don't know their numbers and they talk very like airy-fairy, make big promises.
Oh yeah.
Big thing. I'm like, you know what? Like I'm a very practical person,
Right.
and I really like to understand. So don't hype me. Give me the straight goods. And if you say you do something, you better do it. If you don't, it's really telling. And just be real. I think that when people are not real and they're obviously playing a farce, that's not investable.
Right.
So,
Or they believe their own bullshit. Like.
but you said we have to sometimes.
That's true. But then we're doing 200,000. We're going to do 20 million next year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How are you going to do that physically?
Yeah.
But so it's okay to drink the Kool-Aid sometime, but it has to be a realistic Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Not the spiked one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, last question for each. I'll start with you, Yves. What's the craziest, wildest pitch that someone's ever given you? Have you been cornered in a parking lot, or?
Oh gosh, craziest pitch. I don't know. Probably the cannabis business. There was a lot of wild pitch about the beverage and all different kind of stuff that it didn't happen. But huge growth, huge. You had to really drink the Kool-Aid to believe in it. So
The THC one.
but he probably sees more people than I do. So
I'm not going to pick a particular deal, but I'm going to say that what I'm finding the most crazy is some of these valuation expectations,
Right.
and actually sometimes them getting it, that blow me away. That can never. I don't see how they'll ever grow into these things, and I love it when they quote back, kind of the stuff that they've heard that is out there, like, well, Beyond did this, or Very Good Butchers did that, and I'm just like, well, how many of those can there be? And do you really believe this? And how will you use the money? And of course, then it goes on to the next bunch of like, well, we'll SPAC that, we'll RTO that. So I think that you get a lot of that kind of fast talk, and I just glaze over. I'm like, oh, I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's not a conversation that we can have. We're realists, and like people who think big, but be realistic, like you said, right? And be practical. Like, I'll take Farm Smart over like Book Smart any day. And I think that's, we need more of those.
And I think the question is, because we've been successful, doesn't mean we know everything.
Yeah.
And that's it. People think, oh, Yves, you've done it twice. You must walk on water. I don't. You know how many mistakes I've made along the way? Yeah. And I think that the biggest challenge in business is whenever somebody take over the family, the son or the daughter, because dad has been or mom has been successful, and the expectation is, dad didn't make any mistake. Well, we know how many mistakes we've made, but we've learned from it, and then we continue to grow. And I would say I finished by, for me, the most important quality of an entrepreneur is perseverance. When everybody stops, you're still going to move. You're still going to grow to do 100 call a day. That's is the key. And that for me, that if you have to have that to be successful.
Do you have any sort of mottos or sayings that keep you going or kind of help you through those?
You cut the bridges.
Cut the bridge.
Oh yeah, burn the boats or whatever.
Burn the boat, yeah.
I like that. My favorite is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like that.
And also, you treat your staff, you treat everybody the same way you want to be treated. And you know what?
Golden rule.
The golden
People
rule,
have really a lot of respect. And I don't ask anybody to do something that I won't do myself. And I think people respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's a very eloquent way to end from both of you. So thank you both. I think, on these last themes, you guys are both extremely successful, but very humble, willing to share, willing to admit mistakes, willing to educate others about your experiences. And, we really appreciate you taking the time. The BC Food and Beverage Association really appreciates you sharing your wisdom. And on behalf of Fasken and KPMG, we really thank you for participating in this with us.
Yeah, happy
Thank
to do
you.
it.
That was great fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.